All right, folks, we've got controversy in the greatest sporting event that happens at this time of the year. That's right, the NCAA tournament is broiled in controversy. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on and catch up on the situation. So, if you weren't paying attention, yesterday the NCAA announces their NCAA championship bracket for men's college basketball. 68 teams, single elimination tournament, big deal, lots of money on the line. Teams and schools care about this stuff for personal pride, glory, fame, and all the other things, but also the money. In addition to giving us the bracket and telling us who's going to play who and when, the selection committee is kind enough to let us know who the last four teams to make it into the tournament were. We get Texas, Xavier, San Diego State, and North Carolina filling in the last four slots. What does that mean, though? That means somebody got left out. So they also tell us the first four teams that got left out. That's West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio State, and Boise State. This revelation prompts the governor of West Virginia to host a press conference today where he announces that the National Corrupt Athletic Association, formerly known as the NCAA, has committed an egregious injustice against the state of West Virginia and West Virginia University, and he instructs his attorney general to take action to investigate and maybe to even file a lawsuit to end the corruption that has taken place here. Most of his complaint has to do with the fact that the UNC athletic director was the chair of the selection committee this year, but we can get into that in another video. Let's talk more about what happened and what got us to this situation. Back to the last four in, first four out. In addition to giving us the names of the teams and their records, they also gave us this fancy little set of numbers, which they labeled the net ranking. And if you take a quick look at the rankings, you can see the numbers are different and that the number for North Carolina was a 36, and the number for West Virginia is 51. Yes, folks, that is a ranking. They go from 1 to like 300. Every school that played Division I college basketball gets one of these rankings, and at the end of the season, it puts everybody in a nice little list order. But what is a net ranking? Net ranking stands for the NCAA evaluation tool, which is a quote unquote complicated math system that was developed by the NCAA and Google to provide a fair comparison between teams. According to the NCAA website, net rankings serve as the primary sorting tool for Division I men's basketball. And in the website for BetMGM, yes, folks, that's right. Las Vegas has a vested interest in understanding how this stuff works. They say the exact algorithm for this is unknown. It isn't 100% clear just how much weight the net gets when determining the field or the seeds, but it's definitely a piece of the puzzle for the selection committee. So, let's take a look at the history of NCAA ranking systems to get us to where we are today. Before 2018, we used RPI. Everybody pretty much agreed it sucked, so they hired some mathematicians and other smart people to get together. And in 2018, they put what I'm going to call the 5-metric net system into place. They used that for a few years, and then they decided that that wasn't very good. The 5 metrics were winning percentage, adjusted winning percentage, scoring margin, team value index, and adjusted net efficiency rating. We decided we didn't like 3 of those, so we cut them out in 2020, leaving us with only 2 metrics now. We have no idea how they're weighted against each other or even how they're calculated, but each team gets a team value index and an adjusted net efficiency rating. What do we know about this? Well, when we dropped the 3 things, they told us that we lose win percentage, adjusted win percentage, and scoring margin. That they've adjusted it so that game date and game order are no longer included in the net rankings, so the team's first game counts just as much as their 30th game. And overall and non-conference strength of schedules were modernized to reflect a truer measure of how hard it is to defeat an opponent. Explaining that a little further, it says that they consider opponent strength in the side of each game, assigning each game a difficulty score, and then aggregating those game results for an overall expected win percentage that can be ranked against other teams. What do we know about the 2 metrics that are left, though? Team value index. It's supposed to be a results based feature that rewards teams for beating quality opponents, particularly on the road. It's an algorithm based math. It focuses on game results and it factors in, again, we don't know the math calculations, but opponent, the location, the winner, and it gives us a team value index. In addition to that, we're going to use net efficiency. Net efficiency is an offensive calculation and a defensive calculation that is somehow adjusted for location, home, away, or neutral, so that we can understand how teams perform in each of those environments and how that relates to other teams. They don't tell us how the math works out on this, so we don't really know how they relate to each other, but these 2 numbers get put together and then they create a score that turns into our net ranking. So back to what the NCAA tournament gave us on Sunday night. We have 4 teams in from 36 to 52. We have 4 teams out from 41 to 54. If we shuffle those suckers around, we can see that the top four net ranked teams that were in the last eight were North Carolina, Texas, Ohio State, and Boise State. And then the lower four ranked teams were Xavier, West Virginia, San Diego State, and Indiana. Unfortunately for the governor of West Virginia, this means that they actually don't have the biggest grievance to complain about. It would probably be Ohio State because Ohio State and Boise State were not included in the tournament, even though Xavier and San Diego State were lower ranked and should have been left out. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Have you heard about this quadrant stuff? There's a big fuss about quadrants. We can talk more about quadrants in another video, and if that's something you're interested in learning more about how we calculate quadrants and how they're relevant to the selection committee, let me know. Otherwise, give a like and a thumbs up to the video. Tell us your thoughts on the controversy, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you so much.